First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone.
Darius Phillips on the return. The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line. One down.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. This defense for the Saints, they were excellent a week ago in a victory over Arizona.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Las Vegas.
On play action, now Carr. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Carr. His throw incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's third down.
I'm not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
On play action, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on first down, then ran it on second down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important third?
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Raiders 10, Saints nothing.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Off the play fake, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen.
But they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Next the score, Raiders 17, Saints nothing.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 21.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Jameis to throw it. This one swung out to Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
That's good for the Saints.
17-0 our score after 1.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Raiders 17, Saints nothing.
First down, Winston. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On second down, Williams. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go with Williams. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jamal Williams, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Lutz with the extra point. And they'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He sets to fire deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now, think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Max Crosby is really starting to get his due around the league as one of the best young pass rushers in the game. 25 sacks in his first 3 seasons.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kenny Young. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Got an open man, it's Olave. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. It's been a very
Right? You're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And boy,
because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Taken from about the 12. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's... And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Mullen. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. On first down, Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a play fake. Carr. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Jameis again. Eluding the pressure right. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 yards. That's good for the Saints. First down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone now, Winston. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts.
And this is going to be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Carr, a handoff here to Drake. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's Drake one more time on second down. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They'll lead the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Here's Carr to throw. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Jacobs. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. One more time with Jacobs. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders have opened the lead up to 30. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints 7.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception. So we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 3 quarters have come and gone. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Winston. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Hooked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Raiders are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room.
And my goodness, another interception. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And this one is right down Broadway. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
They begin the drive with Williams. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Let's go! It's time to play!
Jameis to throw it. And now here is another interception. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And the Saints are going to get the football here. It's up to the 38-yard line.
Intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
At their own 38-yard line.
Play action now. Winston. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Carr going to look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
A gain of a yard. It's now 4th down.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do